Last week we worked on the initial move. Today we're working on how to close that gap to make the initial move successful. Let's get started. Here we go. All right, so when we're closing the gap, what the gap is that clothing store that doesn't really do well. I think it's related to Old Navy, and the Banana Republic's like up here. So in this situation between my partner and I, this is the gap. You never want to let anyone get into this closed gap zone. If you are here, you're here to attack. Because if you're here and you're not doing any attacking, you're going to be attacked. So just keep that in mind. You have to know when you should start attacking your partner. There is timing happening there. So if we're here, if I can reach out and touch him on the shoulder, that's the right distance. But I have to learn what this distance looks like. Okay, I have to know this is when I should start doing those initial moves that I showed in the last video. There are 3 ways we're gonna close the gap today. One way we're gonna close the gap is called a fake and go. One of them is called the creep, and the third one is called an off timing bounce or an off rhythm bounce. Those initial moves that I show you work well when you do these 3. So if you check out this video link up here, you can check out that video and you can work these 2 hand in hand. We always want to start by bouncing. Bouncing should be a great thing to do. You never want to start stagnant and feet still on the ground. Even if you're moving around constantly like this, that's better than just staying still. If I'm still, my partner's gonna be able to detect my motion happening. You wanna make sure that when you are bouncing, you're just bending your knees. I like to keep the heels of my feet off the ground, or at least the back heel of my foot off the ground, so I'm bouncing this way to kind of get started. The first way, we'll start with the off rhythm bounce. If I were to be bouncing in just like regular rhythm, my partner's still gonna be able to relatively detect my motion because I'm keeping the same cadence. So I need to interrupt that. I need to have an off rhythm bounce. So when I do that, I'm gonna go from short bursts of rhythm to kind of like long drawn out ones. So it's the stroke pattern of how I bounce down. So when I'm bouncing my knees down, that's gonna help me project myself outward. Okay, if I'm straight legged, I have to bend my knees then to go, or I'd have to just go from a partial bend, which won't give me enough forward projection, which is what I wanna get when I close that gap quickly. I'm gonna be doing a mix between like a big bounce to a mini bounce to like just a little, almost like a twitch, like I just got a shiver. This is me regular bouncing. This is like quick little short bounces, and then these are like almost like I'm doing little baby lunges for it, like micro lunges for it. The fact that I'm moving around and I'm bouncing is gonna be hard for my partner to track me. He won't be able to tell when I'm gonna go as much because there's so much motion happening. I'm off rhythm bouncing here, I'm switching feet, adjusting, I'm bouncing here, I'm just kind of going from walking to bouncing to quick burst to short burst, and all the while, I want to be just changing up my pattern so he can't track me. That's the main goal. Change up the pattern so your partner can't track you, okay? So that's called off rhythm bouncing. The next one that we're gonna do is gonna be the creep. So when you do the creep, what you need to do is grow a beard and start going like this to people when you spar. It's going to be that same style of bouncing, but while I bounce, I'm gonna be moving inward ever so slightly. Okay, so my goal is to creep with the intention of at least trying to get to this point or somewhere close to it. So as we go here, I'm gonna be bouncing a little bit, and I was able to create that line. So I can do that by switching feet, but all I wanna do is just try to little by little get closer to my partner. If I do it in a great way, in a big way, they're obviously gonna see that coming, so there's nothing sneaky about that. We're trying to be incognito, okay? So I'm bouncing this way, I'm switching feet, and I'm using that to creep as well. So I can creep just by bouncing forward a little bit this way. What I like to do is like a quick apart to close kind of a thing, almost like a jumping jack kind of footwork motion, or I could switch feet. And when I switch feet, what I like to do is when I switch feet, my foot will be here. When I switch feet, I'll put my foot a little closer. So to him, it looks like I'm switching feet, but reality, I'm moving just little inches forward. So again, that's the creep. The last one is called a fake and go. The fake and go is probably one of the best things you could do. The fake should be a quarter of a move. So if the full move is this full move here, my quarter of my move is just a little bit. It's just enough to get them to kind of freeze, trying to get our partner to believe one thing, but something else is really happening. So what the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. John Travolta taught me that. This is what it'll look like. So I'm faking here this way. I'm giving a little bit of motion. So I'm a little bit of forward motion, a little bit of twist, but I'm not sticking my face out. Successful attack is an interruption. So he has to be thinking one thing or doing one thing, and while that's happening, I need to interrupt that thought. Because if I don't interrupt his thought pattern, he's ready to defend. So it's fake, 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 go. Right when I see that he's faking, he's tense, that's why I need to attack. Move around, I get my off rhythm bounce, I can switch feet, I can creep in a little bit, I'm faking, here, faking, boom, and then I would go. I need to base all of these moves off of reaction. I'm waiting for this person to react. If I don't know how to read reactions or read the face, read the body language, then you're gonna have some trouble. We read the body language by just isolating certain parts. Okay, I look at his eyes. I look to see if they tense or they widen. Micro expression of surprise is the eyes widen, the eyebrows raise. So I'm looking for those micro expressions on the face. I'm looking for the arms to move in. When the arms move in, that means the person's trying to defend themselves. When we want to defend ourselves, we hold ourselves inward. Safe is here for us. So I'm looking for the arms to move in. I'm looking for the legs to tense. Because when those things happen, I know my partner is tense, and if they're tense, they're stiff, and if they're stiff, they're still, and I'm able to get them. Well, that about wraps it up, folks. That is what we like to call closing the gap. Leave a comment below and let us know if the initial moves actually worked out for you, or you even tried them, or if you like them. And let me know if you use these closing the gap methods in your sparring training. I'd love to hear about it. So let's start a conversation. Put it in those comments. Go. We're here. So if you look right over here up on the top, that video is the one you're gonna watch after this one. So this will be a good one to start with. First you learn to close the gap, and then this video right here will help you with what to do once you close that gap, okay? So be looking out for that one. And the one far over there, that's gonna be the subscribe button. You're gonna wanna click on that so you don't miss out on any future videos. That will help you just like this one did. This is Sensei Ichi from the TOS Karate Studio, guys. Until next time, Tang Su.